Record. Right. So, how are you?
Really good.
Yeah.
Really
How's life?
life's pretty good as well. I can't complain. I've got good balance at the moment between the work and the business and home and bit of sport and activity. So yeah, I
Oh,
can't
always,
complain at all.
always good to have it. Just yeah, not
Yeah,
not so one each one's overriding the other one.
yeah. I mean, we just come through end of month and end of quarter, which is always a bit of a busy period to just try and manage things. And
Yeah.
there's a bit of an interesting time in small business, but yeah, I think the balance helps make that manageable.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree.
How about yourself?
Well, it's just life, isn't it? Did you see the numbers that came out this morning about 60% of small businesses in the first 12 months fail?
Yeah, I didn't see those numbers coming out this morning, and look, it's not a surprising number to
No.
me, particularly at this point in time in small business climate. I guess the difficulty I have with that stat is that a lot of those business startups have a great owner behind them who have a real passion and are really good at what they do, but they've never been shown how to run a business. They've never learnt that skill set. And often, even if they've got a great business plan and a real profitable enterprise to run, the trouble is that a lot of them either come in with a lack of skill set in how to run the business, or they're just simply undercapitalized from the beginning. So even though they have a great business, if there's not enough capital to start it up, they won't get to the end of the first 12 months to be able to see that result. And sometimes it's just pointing out those obvious things at the beginning that really help us to unlock it for a business owner.
Yeah.
But that's where I also look at those stats and going, oh, some of them probably were going to fail to begin with, but others probably had a chance if they were given the right guidance and advice and mentoring at the beginning.
Yeah, I totally agree. I had a great mentor when I first started my business, and one of the things he did was he slapped me around the ear and said, "These are the things you need to put in place right now."
Yes.
And ever since we've done that, we just never looked back.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look,
All right.
most
So,
clients like the harsh truths and like to be told, tell us if we're doing something wrong so that we
yeah.
know how to do it properly.
Yeah, I think it comes down to constructive criticism more than anything else. The
Yep.
simple fact of actually someone pointing out that you're doing something not so much wrong, but incorrectly, or you're not doing it the right way.
Perhaps there's a better way to do
Mistakes.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So we're here for Better Your Business 2024. We've got you as a speaker, and your subject is Know Your Numbers. Mainly because I think it's really important for businesses. Even if they're in the late stages, you still need to know what the hell's going on behind the scenes. So how about you describe who you are and what you do and why you do it?
Great. So who am I? I'm Ross Corcoran. I'm a chartered accountant by training. By trade, I spend most of my time actually delivering business advisory services, though. The team that I've got with me help me to look after all of our clients. We do look after tax returns and bookkeeping and payroll, but predominantly I make sure that the business owners are getting the advice and guidance they need to help their businesses to succeed. I do that with my team here at Dot Advisory. We've been in business now for a bit over 8.5 years. Previous to that, I spent a bit of time working at Deloitte for a couple of years in their private clients team, and then prior to that, working in another boutique firm here in the Canberra small business market. But love what I do and always excited to talk to existing and new business owners about what they're looking to achieve in their business and see how we can assist with that.
Very nice. So your key accomplishments to get to where you are.
Yeah, that's a great question. Key accomplishments. I think the first that I'll admit for the right now situation, I've got a fantastic team who work with me who are all passionate about what they do and they love engaging with our clients to look at how do we help them. So that's one of the key accomplishments for me is putting a team together who share that passion that I have for looking after small business owners.
Yep.
Other key accomplishments, I guess starting my own firm was obviously one of them 8.5 years ago. It's not a small feat or an easy undertaking, and that's where I can probably relate to all the small business owners we talk to. That yeah, it sounds like a dream to be your own boss and have complete control of things, but actually, it's not as easy and joyous as that sounds and looks to the people on the outer. So one of the key accomplishments for me is, yeah, starting that business, but also seeing it through, getting past that hairy first 12 months in small business.
Oh yeah.
And still being here 8.5 years later, running a successful team, successful business, and happily able to say, yeah, we're helping other business owners to succeed in what they're endeavoring to do.
Thank you. For Better Your Business, you're talking about know your numbers. What does that actually mean?
Yeah, it was hard to pick a topic to give sort of quick value to people who haven't heard me speak before, and obviously are probably thinking, oh, what am I expecting from an accountant? So a little bit of that tagline or heading is to give people what they'd expect to hear from an accountant. But I guess if I break it down, the key ingredients from my perspective to running a successful small business involve having a plan. And what that plan's got to constitute is we've got to have a clear definition of what your vision is in business. If we know what that is and what you're trying to achieve, we can set out a strategy. And what very quickly follows a strategy is a budget and a set of targets. And lastly, the fourth ingredient is accountability to that budget, the targets, the strategy, and the vision. So the topic on know your numbers is that, well, that sort of encompasses those four ingredients I'm talking about. If we don't have a vision, we can't have a strategy that matches it, we can't have a set of budgets and targets, and we can't have accountability. Those knowing your numbers, it breaks down to going, okay, what systems are we using? What processes have we got to make sure that the data we're using is quickly at hand, is accurate, and can be used to decipher how am I going? What am I checking it against? Am I going well, poorly, or otherwise? What do I need to do?
Yeah.
And I guess it's that, what do I need to do, is the question that I get asked by every business owner that comes through the doors or calls and asks questions is, I'm not sure where it's at or why it's where it's at, but what do I need to do next? And unfortunately, the question that everyone gets from accountants is, oh, well, it depends. What are you trying to achieve? Yep. What's your budget? What's your targets? Why is that your budget and target?
Yep.
And this is where knowing your numbers really is the important part of it. What might scare people is usually when I start this conversation topic is the first number we need to know is about you. It's not actually to do with the business. What do you need from the business?
Yep.
Because if it can't give you that, it's going to quickly fail, regardless of whether it's making profit or not.
Yep. Totally agree. We have a similar philosophy when we're talking about security. We have three main areas. One is what's your mission in the organisation? So because that drives everything you're looking at when it comes to security. The second one is what assets, and I'm not talking about financial assets. We're talking about assets that make you money or collect data. And once you know those two, you then worry about how do you get everybody trained and educated to a level where they understand what your mission is and also what your assets are and how you need to secure them. And I think business in most cases nowadays, if you don't have a structure around it, it doesn't matter what part of that business is. If you hadn't got that structure, it's all over the place and nobody knows what the hell's going on. Yes. But the moment you start putting a structure around it, it tightens up the organization a lot more focused and makes the job of doing what you want to do a lot easier.
I completely agree. Yeah, and it's easier to get other people aligned with that vision and journey if you've got a clear structure.
Yeah,
they know how to get involved. They know how to contribute to it.
Yep. What do you think are going to be the key takeaways that the attendees are going to have or get from your talk?
Well, the key takeaways to start with, I think a lot of people are scared to go and look at the numbers. So one of the key takeaways I want to deliver for most of the participants in video businesses, a hunger to actually go and look at the numbers, not being fearful of them, to go, right, it's my business, I've got to own it, let me go and look at them. So reduce the fear by saying, yeah, not everyone knows every number in their set of reports. Not many business owners actually understand all their reports. Hopefully what they can find from this this presentation is, yeah, a bit of a reduction of that anxiety or fear, so they're actually hungry to go and take a look at it. I guess the other takeaway is it's important to do a regular review of those numbers and use them on a regular basis. I see lots of business owners that, you know, when you say, oh, what's the budget and how you're going against it? Oh, yeah, we set a budget when we first started the business, but we've never looked at it again. Okay, that's scary.
So we've been going 3 years.
one of those key takeaways is, look, most business owners I talk to are fantastic achieving goals that they set for themselves.
Yeah.
the biggest weakness or failure is that they fail to continue to set new and revised goals and therefore don't achieve them. So one of the other big takeaways is, regularly sit down, review your reports, check your progress, but spend 20% of your time looking backwards, 80% of your time looking forwards. How did I go last month? Now what are my targets going to be for the next 4 months? How am I going to achieve those? Set them and continuously review. So I guess, if I simplify that, the key takeaways, don't be scared of looking at the numbers. Actually go the other way. I've got to regularly set up a routine of when I review the numbers and what I do with those.
Yeah, totally agree. You've probably had a lot of challenges in your career. How have you overcome them?
I'm a big analytical thinker, but I'm also a talker. So I guess whenever I'm presented with a challenge, I'll first probably spend a fair bit of time processing it myself. Usually what I'm trying to do is go and find some form of physical activity or sport with mates to sort of go, right, I've got to get out of the normal environment, so I've got a clearer headspace to think. And in that environment, then I can talk about it with friends, mentors, people who understand what I'm trying to achieve, so I can break down the problem and I guess figure out what to do next. I don't sit easy and I don't wait too long, so probably, very quickly trying to work out how to take action to overcome those challenges.
Okay. What do you expect to get out of the event? Oh, try again. What are you looking forward to in the event?
I'm looking forward to talking to a whole bunch of new business owners. That's probably what excites me most about the business that I run and the space that I work in, is hearing the passion that others have for their business and how they're going about achieving it. So I'm really looking forward simply to connecting with a whole bunch of business owners that have that level of passion. Great.
Why should someone not miss your talk?
That's a great question. Why should someone not miss my talk? I think regardless of where you're at in your business journey, how well you know your financial reports and your numbers or not, I think it's always good to get a reminder on why it's important, so it reinforces what you're already doing, or hopefully opens up eyes to what else could you be doing and why is that important. For some in the room, I guarantee that they're not looking at their reports and they don't have a structure around how they use their numbers. And that's, for those reasons, it doesn't matter where you are in that spectrum. I think it's really important to continuously be educated about how can I be better in my business. And I've not met a business owner who doesn't want to improve. So,
also with changes to technology at the moment, it's which is frightening at the best of times. If you're not so much embracing it, but actually keeping an eye on what's happening in the marketplace, then you're going to be really left behind in a lot of places.
I completely agree. I guess it's hard with the amount of time we've got available on the day to do more than just initially scratch the surface. But there is so much progress now in the space of how to get your hands on your actual data, how to make sure that there's insights delivered from it. I mean, with the powers of AI now, you could probably throw your data into an AI machine and get it to tell you, what issues do you see in this? What patterns do you see? What anomalies? What do you think I should do with it? And so that's scary to a lot of business owners. It's scary to a lot of advisors, but I think if we don't embrace that opportunity, we'll get left behind pretty quickly. I think the power of AI is not so much that it's going to replace our jobs, but it's going to create an opportunity for those of us who embrace knowing how to use it and help clients further with it.
Totally agree. Thank you, Ross. Much appreciated for talking to you. I look forward to seeing you on the 24th.